All right, so we are on Connect week 13. We're doing part 2 of the reading garden. And here we have backspace. Here we have, I call her Queen Josie because look at her. She just likes to sit on her pillow like she rules the home. So your seniors, your last day is 6/2. That's coming up way quicker than you think. The rest of you, your last day is 6/13, 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. for seniors too. English 11, as you will know, because I've haunted you about it, your essay is due May 2nd at 11:59 p.m. That's a Friday night, not a Sunday night, because I got to get those things graded as fast as I can. So I'm going to start them on the weekend. Next week is Connect Week 14. You're going to turn in your project on May 6th by 2 p.m. I'm going to tell you about the project in this lesson. And you're going to come to that class in week 14. You're going to attend it live for the discussion or watch the video to get credit. It's not enough to do the project. You actually have to do the project and either attend live or do the video, one or the other. Just for fun, I thought I'd share with you. I slipped out to Arizona this year. So for size, that's the cactus. That's me. It's a lot bigger than me. So pretty down there, though. A friend of mine's parents own a home in a retirement community. So for once, I was the youngest person in the place, which was kind of fun. So we've talked a lot about why reading matters. I've talked about it all year. I've pretty much, harassed you guys about it. But I'm going to remind you again that it boosts empathy. And in a sense, empathy, I don't know if you ever really thought about this, it's a survival skill. It helps us predict other people's behaviors. It helps us assess people, whether or not they're a good person or they're a threat to us, or we can trust them, or how to respond to them in some way, shape, or form, or even maybe to have a sense that that person's being dishonest with us. And it also creates a safe imaginary world where we can act out behaviors that we wouldn't in real life. I've talked to you about that before. I mean, we did the scary movie thing, but even just adventures, trying new things, things we would never normally do in our own life, we want to do in a book just for fun. As another thought, the Greek philosopher said, Epictetus, I believe is how you say it. He said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So reading does prepare you for all those feelings. And we did do a few of them. I think we've done jealousy this year. I know we did anger, we did fear. All of these things that, before we even have that experience, loss, death, all of those things can be experienced vicariously and with empathy through the book. And we're better prepared to handle that real life expectation. We have something in our toolbox to already react to them before they happen to us, because at least we have read about it. Likewise, creativity matters, and that's what we're going to be talking about here. Creativity is the ability to use a skill and imagination to produce something new or to produce art in the act of doing this. It is the use of imagination or original ideas to create something. It is not, like you often think, being exceptional or having other people see it or getting a good grade on it or winning an award for it. You can literally draw in your own journal and no one ever sees it, and it's still an act of creativity. So I think, creativity has often been tied to getting a good grade or something we do at our job or something we do at a hobby or a talent, and we get some sort of reward or some sort of accolades for. But it can be very internal and it can be done for yourself. We are going to share them, but the good thing is that I am not going to grade this. In other words, you will get points for turning it in. There's no rubric, unlike a lot of other things you've done with me. There's no must have 5 slides, must have 5 pictures, there's none of those. Okay, this is your own personal act of creativity. So what are your options for what you can do for your project? Okay, option number one, an interview. So you're going to write 4 to 5 questions ostensibly for your character. So you're the interviewer, right? You pick your character from the book and you write 4 to 5 interview questions. And then you have your character answer the questions. So you're both the interviewer and the character. You're writing the questions, you're answering the questions. You can do it in a written format. You can record on a video. You can perform it live in a skit and have somebody do it for you. You can grab a friend and have them be the character, whatever you want to do. And through that, we should get to know the character in your book a little bit. Option 2, diary. You're going to write 4 diary entries as the character in your book. And it should reveal to us, again, a lot about the character, their life, their feelings, hopes, dreams, Let's not have 2-sentence diary entries because nobody would write a diary entry 2 sentences long. That would be worth reading. So diary entries that are interesting and fun. Option 3, I still love the book jacket. I know it's been out there for like my entire teaching career. I know that you guys have been asked to do it forever, but it's still always a lot of fun. The cool thing is you can do it by hand. You can test your artistic skills, or you can go to Canva or Adobe or something else, wherever you want, and do it. But you do have to explain your jacket cover. Why do you have certain symbols, images, colors, Why did you choose those things for your cover? Option 4, this one is kind of out there, MapQuest. So look at your book. So if the book takes place in like one place, it's not going to really work, but several locations. So look at the list of locations, houses, stores, streets, parks. So if it took place in like Chicago or New York or something like that, this will work for you. Draw a map showing a bird's eye view of the area, label each location, use some color and symbols to show places. And I do have a link here that I will put into the makeup lesson when I post it tomorrow morning if you want more information about how to make a Google map for your book. Okay. And then option 5, Dear John letter. A Dear John letter, in case you've never been subjected to what it is. I think some people do Dear John text messages now, but a Dear John letter is when you basically break up with somebody by letter. Yours doesn't have to be a breakup letter. It could just be a letter you write to the character. There's things that you feel like you want to say to the character, perhaps about their decisions, about the situation, about how their life experience impacted you, or you want them to do something differently that have a different outcome. You don't have to just type it up. You can make it personal. You can write it by hand. You can add emojis. You can add drawings. You can do whatever you feel like. When I got to say, when I was, I'm going to go down the basement this summer and dig it up. When I was in college, I dated a very nice young man. And he would write me the most beautiful letters, but all across the top, he would do like my name and do all these drawings and little people and leaves coming down. And he was just very artistic, and all the letters had drawings on them as well. And they were really super cool. And option 6, so you're going to make a pretend therapy session here. So you're the therapist. You're going to analyze your character. You're going to identify his or her fears and problems and worries and what causes the conflict, and find 8 to 10 scenes that prove that fear exists. Again, this may not work for your book, but most characters are trying to overcome some problem or fear or conflict. Explain how the character overcame it or didn't in the story, and what they might have done differently. So you get to be the psychoanalyst. Okay. So for people watching the video, here are the makeup questions. Make sure you include the time and date when the project is due, and use number 5 to answer by video. Which project will you do? And for everybody else who is here, as I said, this would be a nice short session. I'm going to ask you, number 1, do you have any questions for me about this? It's not clear. It's due next week.